Al WhatsApp 6949-1861. Para más orientación en los temas educativos. Alfabeta Radio por Nacional 101.7 FM. Noviembre, mes de la patria. Orgullosos de ser panameños y panameñas.
Detrás de cada dosis de vacuna aplicada, existen hombres y mujeres comprometidos con su patria y que con vocación de servicio trabajan en equipo en el traslado, almacenamiento y distribución de cada dosis de esperanza, priorizando en la salud y el bienestar de toda la población. Gracias a cada uno de ustedes, panameños y panameñas, por su voluntad, esfuerzo y disciplina. Gracias. Todos somos Panamá.
Nacional y Crisol FM te informan nuevas medidas de restricciones a partir del lunes 23 de agosto del 2021. En la provincia de Veraguas se flexibiliza la medida de toque de queda de 12 medianoche hasta las 4 de la mañana y el cierre de los comercios a las 11 de la noche para los distritos de La Mesa, Atalaya y el corregimiento de Llano de Catibal. Para el resto de la provincia, de lunes a domingo, desde las 10 de la noche hasta las 4 de la mañana. El comercio continúa abierto de lunes a domingo hasta las 9 de la noche. Se mantiene la medida de toque de queda de 12 medianoche hasta las 4 de la mañana y el cierre de los comercios hasta las 11 de la noche en los distritos de Santiago, Soná, Cañazas, Montijo, Calobre, Santa Fe, Río de Jesús y San Francisco. Recuerda, no bajemos la guardia.
Nacional 101.7, Crisol 106.9 FM, Radio Nacional 840 AM, junto a CER TV y Meduca presentan Conéctate con la Estrella. Estamos comprometidos con la formación pedagógica de la niñez panameña.
Conéctate con la Estrella, es el proyecto de todos. Y si cantamos a coro todo el mundo, el futuro de la patria.
Suena el timbre de séptimo grado. Conéctate con la Estrella. Somos más educación.
Hello, everybody. How are you today? Today is Friday. And it's time to improve your English, you guys, okay? So with you, teacher Tatiana.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome back to another English class with Conéctate con la Estrella. How are you? Welcome.
Excellent, that's right. And we're going to begin with 7th graders, okay? So pay attention that this lesson is for you, okay? Now, today is going to be the last day of the topic, our flora and fauna, okay? And today we're going to review this topic. And as you know, our country is a tropical paradise. You can even find unique species here in Panama. So remember the last topic that we're going to have for today about flora and fauna, and we're going to review some important details. Great. Let's begin with our riddle. Let's try a riddle. And Tatiana, teacher Tatiana, she's going to help me to know if she know the answer. She can tell us here. But if you know the answer, you can contact us at 6004-8182, right? Or you can text us through our Instagram, Nacional FM Panamá, okay? So pay attention to this riddle. I have black circle eyes. Sorry, I'm going to repeat one more time. I have black circles around my eyes, even when I'm not tired. Who am I? I'm going to repeat one more time. Remember that we're talking about flora and fauna, okay? I have black circles around my eyes, even when I'm not tired. Who am I? Teacher Tatiana, do you know the answer? If the students that are looking through Instagram Nacional FM can see a clue there.
Yes. And you were talking about flora and fauna, so let's see if I have a question. It is an animal?
That's right. It's an animal.
So it is an animal. I think that I have the answer. Can I try?
Yes, go ahead.
A panda?
Very good. That's right. It's a panda. As you know, panda has black circles in their eyes, even though they are not tired. Great. Thank you, teacher.
That was
Excellent.
great.
As you know, the objectives that we are going to have today is that you will be able to identify elements of fauna and flora, and also you will be able to use there is and there are to say something, and also doing questions, okay? Making questions. Now let's continue with our famous questions. Do you know, this is for you, this is new information for you. Do you know that Super Mario mushrooms are based on the red mushrooms? Said, the red mushrooms featured on Super Mario are based on Amanita muscaria. So as you know, the mushroom that you can see in Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, 3, and Galaxy and so on, right? It's about Super Mario, the Nintendo, right? You can see this mushroom, and it's real. It's a real mushroom, and the name is Amanita muscaria. If you want to say hello to someone else, or if you want to say some greetings, remember that you can text us through Instagram, Nacional FM Panamá, or you can text us through WhatsApp at 6004-8182. Okay, let's continue with reviewing vocabulary. Okay, teacher Tatiana is going to repeat after me. Wildlife, nature, flora, fauna, timber, sugar cane, awesome, or harpy eagle. Thank you. I'm going just to review some definitions. For example, in the wildlife, I can say that it's the native fauna and sometimes of flora, okay, of a region. When we talk about flora, it's about plants. When we say it, or when we talk about fauna, it's about animals, okay, all kind of animals. For example, here in Panama, we have timber, that is a wood prepared for use in building and carpentry. When we have the sugar cane, this is famous here from Coclé, Chiriquí, Herrera, and Veraguas. And the number 8 is harpy eagle, and it refers to our Panama's national bird. Now, since we already talked about this vocabulary 2 weeks ago, right, we're going to practice some questions about the lesson. Some questions about the reading that you heard during 2 weeks about flora, our flora and fauna, okay? After you're reading several times, remember that you have that information in your booklet, right? There are some questions that we can review right now. So if you know the answers, remember that it's time to practice, and you can text us. I don't know if teacher Tatiana can pick one question that she wants to share with you and answer. For example, if I say, what is the title of the reading? Remember, we talk about flora and fauna. So what do you think it will be the title of the reading? That's right. It's our flora and fauna. A very easy one. What does fauna refers to? What does fauna refer to?
Refer to plants.
Animals. It refers to animals. All kind of animals. When we talk about flora, it's all kind of
okay, yes, I hear fauna. Okay.
Okay, that's right. Flora, it's all kind of plants. And this is very easy for you. I just said it. What is the Panama's national bird? What's Panama's national bird? If you know the answer, remember that you can text us. Okay, remember this is English, and you can practice. And our Panama's national bird is the harpy eagle. Excellent. Now, this question is very important for you to know. If you are not practicing this, I'm inviting you to do it. For example, what can you do to protect our fauna and flora? What do you think that you can do to protect our fauna and flora? I can say that you can keep trash in proper place, not in the floor, but in a proper place. Another example, do not cut trees. If you, for example, or not destroy some kind of plant, if you are playing in the park, right? There are some kids that just try to damage some kind of plants. Just don't try to do it. So it's very important, do not cut trees. And another example I can give you to protect the fauna and flora will be do not hunt. Even though you are like a little kid, right? Your parents, sometimes they like to hunt some kind of birds or some kind of little animals. So just try not to. There are some cases that you can protect our flora and fauna. And I'm going to mention another ones. I can say, for example, in your community, to learn about where you can assist native wildlife. So you can learn, you can read about what can you do in your community. You can practice that with your parents, with your family, with your extended family, with your neighbors. Okay, so it's very important to inform what you can do, to read, to understand, or to learn what you can do in your community to help the environment. And if you are at home, you can recycle everything you can, everything. For example, newspapers, scrap papers, can, glass. Also, it could be recycled oil. For example, this soap that you can see here, I don't know if you can, well, I'm going to describe. There are soap, son jabones, that you can use recycled oil, and you can use it to wash your clothes or some dishes. So they are very important to recycle. If you cannot do it right, you can learn how to use recycled oil, el aceite reciclado que usualmente va al agua, al waste, right? You can use it to make soap. Now, let's talk about structure here. I don't know, Teacher Tatiana, you have some greens over there?
Yeah, I wanted to say welcome to Isamara Janet 03, Mónica Núñez 7524, Bonnie 0583. Welcome.
Okay, welcome back. Say hello to you guys. Okay, as I said before, I'm going to talk about a little bit of structure, about grammar, about questions in there is, there are. I'm going to explain a little bit. It's very easy to do it, right? Since we already talked about when we use there is and when we use there are, remember that there is plural and there are, it will be, there is singular and there are plurals, okay, when you can count or there are more than one. In the sentence that you already know of this, there is a bird in my backyard. This is the sentence. What you can do to make it a question is very simple. You put the verb to be in the beginning of the sentence, so it will be is, and then you can write there. Is there a bird in my backyard? If you want to know if it is true, right, you can ask, is there a bird in my backyard? You can say, there is a bird in my backyard, okay? So it will be in a question, you use the verb to be in the beginning of the sentence, and then you use there. In this case, it is a singular because bird is singular. Is there a bird in my backyard? When we are using are, there are, it will be the same. Remember, there are, we are using it in a plural. The beginning of the question will be are plus there. Are there many kinds of birds? You know, if you want to make questions using there are, it will be simple. First, you need to write the verb to be in the beginning of the question. As an example, are. Are there many kinds of birds? Since we're using are, it means that the whole question will be in plural. For example, many represents plural. We have kinds of birds. There is not just one bird, it's more than one. Are there many kinds of birds? Remember, we use is there when the question is singular. Are there when it's plural? I'm going to repeat the question. Is there a bird in my backyard? Is going to be in the beginning of the question plus there. Is there a bird in my backyard? If we're using plural, will be are there many kinds of birds? Since I already explained this to you guys, let's do the practice. Write the correct questions. Let's do a quick practice to know if you understood this. Okay, we have, I'm just wrote the sentence. There is a jaguar. There is a jaguar. This is the sentence. If you're going to make a question, what you will to do is very simple. You just identify which one is the verb to be. In this case is. So it's going is will be the beginning of your question. Is there a jaguar? Okay, remember you need to write the question mark. Is there, and then the whole question. Is there a jaguar? Since we're talking about one, it will be singular. Let's continue and do the second one about the monkey. There is a monkey. This is the sentence. If you want to transform that in a question, you need to identify the verb to be. Which one is the verb to be in that sentence? There is a monkey. That's right. Is the verb is. So is the first one that you're going to write. Is, and after is will be there. Is there a monkey? Remember to write the question mark. I don't know if teacher Tatiana can do the last one. There is some milk in the fridge. Remember that there are nouns that we cannot count, right? So, they are uncountable. We cannot use are. We need to use is. There is some milk in the fridge. If we want to transform that in a question mark, teacher Tatiana, what we can need to do?
We have to switch. Okay, so we will start with is. Is there some milk in the fridge?
That's right.
Question mark at the end.
Thank you. That's right. Is there some milk in the fridge? So it's very easy for you to make a question using there is, there are. Now let's continue with the plural. In the pictures, there are birds. In this case, there are macaws. Okay, there are macaws on the tree. We are using plural because there are more than two. There are more than one. As teacher Tatiana said before, we just switch in the verb to be, writing in the beginning of the question. Are there macaws on the tree? And we use the question mark. You just switch the verb to be plus there. That's it. And the last one, there are many kinds of monkeys in Panama. If you are going to transform that in a question mark, you just need to identify the verb to be. Which one is the verb to be in that sentence? Are. And then you just need to write the other words there. Are there many kind monkeys in Panama? Remember, you need to write the question mark. And this is what you have for today in our grammar, in our structure. Remember that you have to do an assignment there, and you're supposed to do a graffiti. You need to draw pictures to make a graffiti. Draw a graffiti about the flora and fauna on Panama. And you can identify using sentences there is, there are. Guys, this is the time for you for 7th graders, and do not move because we're continuing for 8th grader with teacher Tatiana. Okay, if you remember, if you have any questions, you can text us through WhatsApp or through Instagram. Okay, bye.
Mi nombre es Zulma Cano, instructora de la Cruz Roja Panameña. Al reconocer una emergencia debemos tener presentes los principios de acción de emergencia: revisar, llamar y atender. Revisamos el lugar para saber si el área es segura y si existen peligros potenciales en contra de nosotros. ¿Qué sucedió? ¿Cuántas personas hay involucradas? ¿Existe alguien más en el lugar capacitado para ayudarnos? Revisamos a la persona, respiración y si tiene algún tipo de sangrado. Verificamos el estado de conciencia. Señor, señora. Si es necesario llamar al sistema médico de emergencia, debemos estar preparados para responder las siguientes preguntas. ¿Dónde ocurrió la emergencia? ¿Qué sucedió? El teléfono y nombre de quien está atendiendo. Una descripción de qué fue lo que pasó. Al atender a la persona, debemos procurar no hacer más daño. Poner a la persona en una posición segura. Identificarnos y decirle a la persona: estamos aquí para ayudarle. Atienda a la persona de acuerdo a su conocimiento y capacitación.
Si quieres saber más de este y otros temas de primeros auxilios, contáctanos por WhatsApp al 6211-8643 o escríbenos a capacitación@cruzroja.org.pa.
Conéctate con la estrella, es el proyecto de todos. Y si cantamos a coro todo el mundo.
Suena el timbre de octavo grado. Conéctate con la estrella. Somos más educación.
Hello. Welcome back to another English class. Today is Friday. We almost finished the second trimester. 1 week more for all of you that we've been working very hard. Congratulations. For the other ones, I know that you can do it, so just try, okay? So if you're missing a homework or a test or something, go ahead, talk with your teachers and try to finish all your assignments, okay? So today we will continue with 8th graders and we will finish with a new topic, okay? That topic is about Panamanian ethnicity. We will be talking during this last week, okay, about this, okay? So our objective, let's go with the objective, okay? It's to identify the different ethnic groups in Panama by their origin, and the other objective is to complete sentences with the verb to be. Those are our objectives. How about it will start our class with a tongue word twister that will help us, to improve our pronunciations and reading. The tongue word twister today will help us to practice the sounds of the U sound, like would, could, okay? So I'm going to read the tongue word twister, and then I'm going to ask teacher Evelyn if she can try to say it, like, I don't know, how about if we set up a time?
Yes, do it.
Like 20 seconds?
Yes.
20 seconds.
20 seconds.
20 seconds is okay. So let's see. Let me read it first, the tongue word twister. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Okay? This is the tongue word twister. So, teacher Evelyn, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. You have to just click there.
Okay, let me know when you raise
Just
your
count
hand.
until 3.
Until 3. Okay,
Uh-huh.
say 1, 2, 3.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Oh, you said it in 3. Oh, 3 seconds. Whoa!
I practiced.
Wow, congratulations, you see? And she didn't practice, okay? This is the first time that she saw the tongue word twister, okay? Because this is my class, okay? I choose the tongue word twister. Okay, so let's go with the vocabulary. Today, as always, we are going to practice or learn new words related to the topic. Remember that the topic is Panamanian ethnicity, okay? So, I'm going to give you a new word. I will give you a description. So for those who are listening, okay? So number one, teacher Evelyn will help me with the pronunciation. She will repeat, sorry. Number one, indigenous.
Indigenous.
Number two, colony.
Colony.
And number three, mestizo.
Mestizo.
Let's stop there. Indigenous, okay? Originating in and characteristic of a particular region or country or native. Later, I'm going to let you know, or how about if I use another word? I will remind you, okay, the different kind of indigenous that we have in our country, Panama, okay? So to give you an idea, every time that you hear the word indigenous, you are going to know what I'm talking about. Number two, colony is a group of individuals coming from the same country, living in a particular place. That's the way that, long time ago, okay, and instead to say, I don't know, like city, they say colony. And number three, mestizo, is a person of mixing race. Okay, it could be, for example, an indigenous with another race. Okay, a combination. Okay, it's like a mix. That's the correct word. Let's continue with the vocabulary. Teacher Evelyn. Number four, descendant.
Descendant.
Number five, Afro-Panamanian.
Afro-Panamanian.
Number four, descendant, something deriving in appearance or general character from an early form. Okay, so for example, my grandmother, okay, and I am descendant of my grandmother, and I don't know if she probably come from Jamaica, Haiti, or Spain, I don't know, or Europe. How about the royalty? Why not? Okay.
Oh
yeah, why not? Okay, so I'm the descendant of that. Afro-Panamanians, we refer to a people from African origins in our country. It means that they came from that people. Let's continue with the vocabulary. Teacher Evelyn. Number six, we have trip. We have number seven, Antillean. And 8, we have isthmus. Okay, so with number 6, we're talking about a century. The trips are the lines tracing birth to an ancestor. This is almost the same like when we refer to colony, okay, but it referred to people, the way that people in Comarca refer to their community. Number 7, Antilleans, it referred to the people from the group of islands in the Caribbean. Number 8, isthmus, a narrow strip of land bordered on both sides by water, connecting two large body of land. Okay, as an example, our country, Panama, okay, both sides, to the north and the south, we have water. Okay, we have the Pacific Ocean and we have the Caribbean Ocean. Okay, that's a good example. Let's finish that vocabulary. Teacher Evelyn, number 9, lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
And number 10, origin. Number 9, lifestyle, the typical way of living. Okay, the typical way of that you live, reflecting your attitude, preference, opinion of an individual or groups. And number 10, origin, is the source from which anything arises or came. Okay, the beginning of something. We can say it at that. Let me remind you that you can interact with us through WhatsApp 60048182, Instagram Nacional FM Panama, or YouTube. Okay, how about that if we practice The idea is that you, okay, now that you understand the description, the meaning, you try to choose the correct answer. Remember that you can access to our Google Classroom. The code is TO66L60 in case that you're missing some information or you wanted to review. Okay, so pay attention carefully to what the description or the meaning that I'm going to read to you. Number one, it says originating in and characteristic of a particular region or country. Native is like a keyword. Okay, native is a keyword. The first option is letter A, indigenous, and the letter B, mestizo. What do you think, indigenous or mestizo? Who is like native? Okay, let me help you. The first one, number one, is letter A, indigenous. Okay, it's referred to native. Okay, now listen carefully. We are going to try two more and then we are going to continue with the topic explanation. Okay, so we have number two, ancestry, the line tracing birth to an ancestor. Okay, and we have letter A, we have trip, and letter B, descendant. And there is a key word there, ancestor. Okay, the tracing birth to an ancestor. Okay, so what do you think it is? Letter A or letter B? Letter A, trip, or letter B, descendant? It's letter B, descendant. Okay, now let's see if teacher Evelyn can help me with number three. Okay, a narrow strip of land bordered on both sides by water. Okay, for example, Panama. Okay, to the north it have water, to the south it have water, connecting to largest body of land. We have letter A, isthmus, and letter B, Antillean. Okay, teacher Evelyn.
Okay, I'm going to answer, but before of that, I'm going to say hello to Jax Yairi. I want to say hello to Tati 2015 and Soline 0442. Hello, hello.
Hello, welcome.
Okay, since you already explained about Antillean, that there are people, right? So I will say letter A because you are talking about land.
Exactly. Very good. Number three is letter A. Okay, and we will stop there and we will go to the topic explanation. Okay, now let's start with the did you know. Okay, it said the first Afro-descendant to be part of the European royalty is Panamanian. Do you know that? And let me tell you who is. Okay, I'm talking about Angela Brown. Okay, she born in Bocas del Toro here in Panama, and she married with Prince Maximilian of Liechtenstein in 2000. Okay, becoming the first Afro-descendant to be part of the European royal family. That's a good one.
She is from Bocas
Go
del
ahead,
Toro.
Panama. Yeah. Okay, so we're talking about ethnicity groups, right? And it's very important to know like the period when everything is started. Okay, and everything is started in the pre-Columbian era. Okay, and after that there was the colonial area, independence. Okay, that was one of the big fight that we have. The union to Colombia and railroad construction, separation from Colombia, and finally the canal construction. What all these periods or events have in common? Okay, that people from other country arrive here to Panama and they start to mix with indigenous. Okay, and that is the way that the amount of group of ethnicity that here in Panama we have started. That's not the origin. Okay, I read different books and I try to focus and make it simple for you. based on the amount of people here in Panama. And I classify them in 4 groups: indigenous, mestizo, Afro-Panamanian, and other groups. And I'm going to talk about each one, especially what I mean with other groups. Let's start with indigenous, okay, Evelyn?
Yes, I want to say hello to Santander 01 and also saludos desde Penonomé. Soy Rachel Sánchez. Quiero mandar saludos a mi maestra Dayanara hasta Arreján de nivel 4. Okay.
Great, good. So, indigenous, as you know, okay, that this is a common topic that we start learning since I think 5th grade. Okay, there are 6 groups in Panama. We have the Nove Bugle, Embera, Huayna, Naso, that is Teribe, Cuna, Bribri, y Bocota. Okay, the Panamanian indigenous are descendants of Shanguina, Dorace, Chipchap, and Cueva Indians. Okay, all these 6 groups, okay, are descendants of these 4 groups. Okay, and they are divided in comarcas, or located in comarcas here in Panama. Now, mestizos, okay, that this is what we call a mix of race. Do you remember that when I explained the vocabulary? Let me explain you why I use the word mix, okay? Because it's like, for example, we have indigenous with blacks people is what we call sambos, okay? White and black people is what we call mulattos. Whites and indigenous is what we call criollos, okay? And basically, this is the reason that we call these 3 groups, okay, or the mixes of race, mestizo, okay? This is like a racial mixtures between 2 groups. Now, Afro-Panamanians, the history states that there are 2 popular groups: Afro-Antillians, as I explained the vocabulary, refer to the group of islands in the Caribbean, and Afro-Colonials. They are the descendant of the African slave that brought to the isthmus during the Spanish colonizations, okay? And those are the 2 groups here in Panama, the main 2 groups of Afro-Panamanian, Afro-Antillians and Afro-Colonials. Now, the other groups, when I say other groups, it's because I'm referring, okay, to the people from Costa Rica, from Asia, from China, from the South Asia, from Dominica Republic, from Venezuela, okay? Okay, there are a lot. I mean, Panama, it's a country where all people around the world are right here, and they because probably they like the weather, or they like the conditions, okay, or the benefit that they can get here. They stay here, okay, and they start their family here, okay? So that is the reason that we have a lot. We have French, we have Spanish, we have British, we have from American also, okay? So that is the reason they say other groups, because there is not like a name for all of them, exactly a name, okay? So you can access to our Google Classroom, and you will find here a practice that is referred to the information that I just explained to you, okay? And also there is one that you will see popular Panamanians, okay? For example, the Mercedes Molto, that she is an actress, okay? Probably you saw her in novelas, okay? And from Mexican novelas,
Telemundo.
Yeah, you will see that, okay? And if you pay attention to her, there is 2 options. They say letter A, indigenous, or letter B, other groups, okay? So what do you think she is, okay? Do you think that she's indigenous? No, right? So she will belong to letter B, other groups, okay? So good, okay? And the structure that we cover here, it's very simple, okay? Because we already talked about that with 7th grade teacher Evelyn talked about nationality before, okay? So it's talking about the country and the nationality, and here is that when we are going to stop here, okay? So remember, if you wanted to talk about, you can say I am from Panama or I am Panamanians, okay? So access to our Google Classroom, and you're going to find here the complete class, the complete practice, okay? Remember that practice is the key in English. Teacher Evelyn?
Yes, I want to say that I'm from Panama.
Yes! I am Panamanian. See you. Stay there because we have more for 9th graders.
Conéctate con la estrella, es el proyecto de todos. Y si cantamos a coro todo el mundo, edúcate, edúcate, edúcate. Conéctate, conéctate, conéctate. Somos el futuro de la patria.
Al reconocer una emergencia por quemada, lo primero que debemos hacer son los 3 principios de acción de emergencia: revisar, llamar, atender. ¿Revisar qué? Que el área sea segura tanto para nosotros como para la persona a la que vamos a atender. Llamar en caso de que necesitemos ayuda adicional de un servicio de emergencias. ¿Y cómo procedemos a atender? De la siguiente manera. Primero que todo, nuestro equipo de bioseguridad. Debemos ponernos guantes. Luego procedemos a alejar a la persona de la fuente de calor para que no se siga quemando. Enfriamos la quemada con agua a temperatura ambiente por al menos 10 minutos. Si es necesario más tiempo, se continúa. Si hay aparición de ampollas, no las revienten, déjenlas tal cual están. Luego de que la quemadura se ha enfriado, procedemos a cubrir con gasas o un trapo limpio y vendamos, pero que quede un vendaje flojo, no demasiado apretado. Si la quemada es muy profunda o es muy extensa, entonces llevamos al paciente a un servicio de emergencia para atención adicional.
Si quieres saber más de este y otros temas de primeros auxilios, contáctanos por WhatsApp al 6211-8643 o escríbenos a capacitación@cruzroja.org.pa.
Suena el timbre de 9º grado. Conéctate con la estrella. Somos más educación.
Good afternoon, 9th graders. Welcome back to another English class. We Conéctate con la estrella. Today is Friday, okay? Today is August 27. We almost finished the 2nd trimester, okay? So welcome, and we will finish this trimester talking about human rights, and that is what we are going to talk about today. So let's go with Teacher Evelyn, and then I'm going to start the class. Why not?
Yes, hello, 9th graders. I want to say hello to Abdiem Arjona, Snoopy, Milliflex, Syria 080. Hello.
Welcome and thank you to be part of this team. So today, as I told you, we will continue talking about human rights. This is we will have like review. We're going to recap. We are going to talk about few new things, okay? And today's objective is to classify the different rights and duties we have as individuals in our society effectively, and to practice the correct form of the plural nouns in sentences. We will be covering different rules about plural nouns, okay? Today we will finish with some other rules, okay? Each class, I pay attention to 3 or 4 rules, so today we will finish, okay? Now, because this is a topic that have a lot of information, and that are also, it's very important to know about this because it's part of us. I'm going to go directly with the vocabulary, okay? So Teacher Evelyn will help me to repeat the word, and also after that I'm going to give you a definition so you will have an idea what I'm talking about. Number 1, we have norms. Number 2, duty. And number 3, discrimination. Let's start with norms, okay? It's rules that manage individual behaviors in a country or society, no matter which country, no matter which society, okay? Rules that manage. Number 2, duties, as I told you before, it refers to responsibility, okay? That you as a person in a society have to develop, okay? That you have to do. Number 3, discrimination is the bad treatment you give to other people judging their religion, gender, culture, or any other thing. Now let's continue. Teacher Evelyn. Number 4, law.
Law.
Number 5, religious.
Religious.
And number 6, gender.
Gender.
Let me give you the definition. Law. Law, we're talking about the principles, rules, and regulations set up by a government, other authority, or by a custom that apply to all the people of a group. I mean talking about all the citizens, okay, all the members of a country. Religious, it's filled with or showing religion as set of belief, okay. This is a word that we use most as an adjective. No, it's referred to religion. Gender, it referred to male and female, easy like that. That's that I wanted that you get from this word. Every time that you hear, I'm referring to male or female, male and female, okay. Now remember that you can interact with us. Don't lose this opportunity to practice English. We almost finished this trimester. Go ahead, look your cell phone, access to your WhatsApps. Go and add our number 60048182 and interact with us. It's totally free. Why not? Let's practice, let's learn, okay? And if you want, you can go to the Instagram or YouTube Nacional FM Panamá. If you're looking for review later, you can access to our Google Classroom. Remember, the code is TO66L6T. Amazing. So you have many options. There are no excuses to learn or practice English today, Friday. For the vocabulary, let's practice a little bit, okay? Here you are going to find 6 pictures, okay? And we are going to match with 6 words, okay? We have letter A, norms, letter B, duty, letter C, discrimination, letter D, law, and letter E, religion, letter F, gender. I'm going to explain 2 of them, okay? So I'm going to describe you so you have an idea, okay? So let's start with number 1. There are 2, there's a male and a female. There are students, we can use the word students, and they are like doing a test, okay? They're like doing a test or completing an assignment, okay? It is students and they're completing assignment. What do you think it is? It is norms, duty, discrimination, law, religion, or gender, okay? Students completing assignment, that is their responsibility, right? So that will go with letter B, duty. Okay, so number 1 is duty. Okay, number 2 is the symbol is very popular. It means like justice. Okay, so what word can you? Well, it could be tricky one because we have 2. We have letter A, that is norms, and letter D, that is law. Okay, and so I mean I reduced the options, but I just telling you letter A, norms, and letter B, law. Okay, so but think about it. This is like a balance, okay, like what is right, what is wrong, and it's justice. Okay, so normally it will be this symbol. It refers to letter D, law. Okay, now I'm going to explain the 3rd picture, and teacher Evelyn will help me. Here there are 2 persons. Okay, we have a girl and a boy, and she is like telling her, or like giving like a boy to get contact with him, or she tells something.
Get out.
Like Exactly. Like she tells something, she treat him bad. Okay, that's the way that I can say it. She treat him bad. Okay, and what do you think if she treat someone bad? What do you think it could be the correct answer, Teacher Evelyn?
Okay, I will say the letter C, discrimination.
Discrimination. You see? So, and that way you will complete this practice. Very good job. Now, let's go with the topic explanations. Let's make a review of some terms that we talked before. For example, norms. Norms are rules that manage individual behavior in a country or society, as I told you before. But I wanted to give you some examples. That is what I want to focus right now. Okay? Respect the law. Follow the rules of our constitutions. Ensure the health for everyone. Okay? So those are examples of norms that we have here in our country. Okay? Now, human rights. Do you remember about human rights? Let me help you. Don't worry. Human rights are the right we have as human beings. They belong to all of us regardless of who we are or where we live, and they cannot be taken away. Cannot be taken away was a phrase that I was focused in our previous class. Okay, there are 30 human rights. Okay, and also we have student rights. Examples of human rights: we have the right to equality, the right to live, the right for education, the right to good nutrition. Example of student rights: we have free expressions, healthy well-being, technology, respect your opinions, and participations. Okay, now duties that are responsibility that you as a person in a society have to develop. Let me give you example of citizen duties, and then I will give you example of student duties. Okay, as a citizen, we have to maintain the public order in the community. We have to respect the rights, belief, and opinion of others, and we have to participate in our local community. Okay, as a students, we have to go to school. We have to respect our teachers and our classmates. Okay, and we have to complete our homework. Those are responsibility as a students. Good. Now, what is discrimination? Okay, the bad treatment, easy like that. And there are different types of discrimination. We have cultural discrimination, we have religious discrimination, we have gender discrimination, we have race discrimination. But all of them, for me, all of them are wrong, are bad, worse. Okay, we have to avoid discrimination because that go against human rights. Now, for this information, you will find a practice in our Google Classrooms. Okay, let me explain to you the practice. You're going to find a match in the first column. You have the words student duties, norms, discrimination, rights, citizen duties. And in the second column, you have sentences or statements that are example of them. Okay, I'm going to read all of them. I don't like his culture. My brother respect my belief. My baby has good nutrition. We go to school every day. My family respect the law. Okay, now you need to find which one go with the others, match with that statement. The word match with that statement. For example, we can start with student duties. Remember, student responsibility. I don't like his culture. Is that a responsibility?
No.
My brother respect my belief. That is not a responsibility, right? My baby has good nutrition.
No.
Neither. We go to school every day.
Yes.
Okay, so student duties we go to school every day. That is, as a student, that is your responsibility. Okay, good.
Yes.
Now, okay. Okay, so in that way you're going to finish the rest of the practice. Okay, there are good examples that give you an idea of each one, and that is what I want, that you have an idea so you can talk about that, and also you can practice and respect your rights and other rights. Talking about the structure for this topic, we focus in plural nouns. Okay, today we finish with the rules. We have nouns, singular nouns that end with the letter US as cactus. Okay, what we're going to do, we are going to delete or change the US and then we're going to add the letter I. So instead of cactus, that is a singular, we will have cacti, that is plural. Okay, second rule for today, we have singular nouns, okay, that end with the letter A, and we are, for make or change into plural, we are going to change the letter A and then add AE. So for example, we have vertebra, and instead of vertebra we will be vertebrae. Those are like an exception. No, it's not all the time that you see a noun that end with the letter A, you're going to apply E. So my advice, recommendation, or suggestion is that you memorize this word. Okay, memorize this word because are few, and this rule do not apply to all the nouns. Let's continue. We have singulars that end with IS, like analysis, and we are going to change IS into ES. Okay, and we have analysis, and then we have analysis. The other rule, nouns, singular nouns that end IX, EX, you are going to change into ICES or ES. And here you have two examples. We have appendix, and then we have appendices. The other rule, singular nouns ending in ON or UM, we are going to change to make the plural to A. And example, we have bacterium, and the plural is bacteria. So every time that you see the word bacteria, you are not talking about only one, you're talking about many of them. As well, like medium and media. Okay, you're not talking about only one, you're talking about many of them. Good. So how about if we finish with the practice? Okay, remember that you can access to our Google Classroom. The code is TO66L60. Here you have to choose the correct answer. We have the plural of fungus. What do you think is letter A, the same word, fungus, or letter B, fungi? Okay, remember that, as I told you, I suggest, I recommend that you memorize this word. Okay, so first, for this one, it's letter B. Teacher Evelyn, would you like to try any of them?
Okay, I will try the next one, the plural of vertebra.
Okay, vertebra.
It will be letter B.
Vertebrae. When in this case, it ends with the letter A, so we have to change into AE. Okay, you see, very good. And as well, that is what we are going to do with the other ones, but applying the different rules that I just explained to you. Okay, so study them and then do the practice, and remember that if you practice, you will handle, and it will be very easy the next time that you see this word. Okay, so we've finished for today, my ninth graders. This is everything. Time is over. We will see you in the next class. Remember This is your opportunity to learn English. Review it and see you. Bye-bye.
Remember, next week you have exams, so you have to study.
Study, practice.
Bye. Take care.